fuck wears a bowler hat? Welcome to Struggle City. Thank you. I know, I did that, like, right on cue.
You did it so well.
Thank you.
It's like we've been doing this for 14-something episodes.
What?
Well,
have we really?
The main show has been 13 episodes, but then I've had my own thing for a while.
Your own thing?
Yeah.
Coffee at the Matinee?
That's my thing.
Okay. Well, so Casey and I have been talking a little bit about, like, wanting to talk about books in detail on the podcast.
Yeah, what I do with Coffee at the Matinee, but with books.
Right. So that's what we decided to do. And Casey has, both of us kind of have like our little book club thing.
Bitches be reading.
But that's right. That's what I didn't remember that.
But then you quit hard because you couldn't stomach one of my books.
I couldn't pronounce the names, and they were all weird creatures.
It was Indian and it was gay werewolves.
I mean, I like the gay werewolves part, but, like, I just couldn't get into it. And so this book is amazing with the writing. Just the writing, not even, like, the story. Obviously, yes, the story, but forgetting the story for a second, the writing is amazing. Not like the book that we're really going to talk about today. Like that segue right there.
Ooh, it's a rough one.
No, it was good.
It was rough.
It was good.
It was fine.
Anyway, so the book we are going to discuss is called The Night Circus. I don't remember who the author is.
I believe Erin Morgenstern.
It sounds familiar, yeah. Okay, so Casey read this book a long time ago, and I thought that it just came out.
What the fuck do you mean a long time ago?
You said you read it years ago, like 10 years ago.
Okay.
That's a long time. That's a decade.
It's not that long.
Oh my god.
And time is relative.
I was 14.
Time's a construct.
I was still a virgin. Anyway,
Jesus.
So I decided to read it because another Struggle City member, Dom, read The Night Circus and fell in love with it. And she told me that I had to read it. It was the best book ever. And I was like, all right, like, cool. If you're really into this, I'll try it.
Right.
It was the worst. It took me, 3 months to get through this damn book? Granted, it's...
Yeah, because you only just finished it.
Yeah, and it's 500 pages. Okay, so it's not like a little thing that I really took forever.
No, it's a thick book.
It's so goddamn boring. So boring. Oh my god. And Dom even warned me. She was like, it's slow to start off, but you have to keep going. And I kept going. And I was bored. And honestly, like, oh my god.
Slow to start. I remember it being slow all the way through.
It was. And then all of a sudden it, like, picked up for, like, a split second at the end because it's like, oh shit, we have to wrap up. Oh. Like, that's the feeling I got from it.
Oh, ew, yeah.
Yeah. So
see, I only remember it picking up because I dropped it.
That was so stupid. I love it though. So neither one of us have the book on us, which is kind of a shame because I'd like to like go through it again and like look for specific examples. But there are so many things that are wrong with this book, and I had talked to Dom before coming here today, and I said, hey, listen, we're going to talk shit about this book, and I know you love it, so is it okay if you don't come to this one? And she was so cool about it, and she was like, yeah, like, I appreciate you telling me, just, you know, I know you're not going to like everything that I like. So, with that being said, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to give it
do you ever?
all the shit. No.
Yeah. When have you ever held anything back?
I don't know. Probably with my managers telling them to fuck off. So, the whole plot behind The Night Circus is that there are these two illusionists, Celia and Marco. Don't like the names, by the way. And Marco wears a fucking bowler hat.
But you love Marco from Saga.
I do. Oh my god, don't talk about Saga. Oh!
That can be another episode.
Oh my god.
That could be another episode.
Oh, yeah. I gave you all yours back, right?
I got them.
Okay. That one. I can't. God damn it. Casey. That was so upsetting. I cried at the end of that. Oh, anyway. So Celia and Marco with the bowler hat. Who the fuck wears a bowler hat? And it's set in like late 1800s, early 1900s, but
so
still.
They were in style.
They're so lame. They're so lame. Have you ever seen, I don't remember what it's called, but the evil guy he had a bowler hat, and the bowler hat was the real evil guy. It's like The Replacements or something. Robinsons! Meet the Robinsons. That's what it is.
No.
Okay, well, I just gave away
that.
It's a movie. It's a kid movie. And it's actually really good. It's not Disney.
Cool. I'm still not going to watch it.
Oh, you should. It's funny.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, the bowler hat's evil in that, so spoilers.
Okay.
Anyway, so these two...
Hang on. The hat itself is evil?
Yeah, it's a robot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's less interesting. I was thinking, oh, it's possessed. like it's an episode of Friday the 13th. It's a possessed object.
No, it's not. But
boring.
Anyway, so Celia and Marco are these illusionists, and the whole point is, like, magic is real. And so they are kind of thrown into this arena, which is the circus. And the circus travels, and it comes without warning. And it's supposed to be, like, the most magical circus ever. Everything is black and white. There's no color, except for red, which comes later from, like, all of the fans.
Yeah, it's like early Tim Burton.
Yeah, but, like, not as good. Anyway, so they are in the circus, like, still trying to show everybody that, like, magic is quote-unquote real, because obviously, like, real people can't know that actual magic exists, because then it blows their mind, and so all this stuff. And
so why are they doing it?
Because it's a competition. See, that's the whole thing.
It's dumb that they invite people into it.
I mean, look at magicians then. Like, magicians will do the same thing. It's just the difference is magic is real in this book, all things considered.
I mean, who's to say that magicians aren't doing real magic?
I think they are. I think they are.
I know you do.
Yeah. So, Celia and Marco were both raised by their teachers, let's say. And they taught them how to use their magic and their illusions. And they, like, bonded them with, like, this ring that, like, kind of grew into their skin or something like that. And so that they were bonded to this competition forever. And they were never told what the competition was. And we were also never told what it was really until, like, maybe the last 50 pages. And that was just fucking annoying.
There's a lot of just things not being properly explained.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not always necessary, but for something like this, you definitely need backstory.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
You need proper motivation. Like, I remember one of my biggest gripes being, you don't know why the senior magicians, like their teachers, are even doing this.
They had different ideas on magic and teaching magic.
Right. Like, I remember that. That doesn't seem like a good enough reason.
I agree.
Because isn't it, like, really general, and it's just like the one guy is more, he wants more flamboyant magic, and the other guy is more studied, learned magic.
I mean, I do remember Marco having to read a lot. And he had a very sheltered life because he was always supposed to be reading.
Yeah, so one's more aesthetic and the other's like more practicing. Okay.
Yeah, but that didn't matter because they both just did whatever the fuck they wanted. And so they never met when they were like first bonded, and they didn't meet until much later. Now, Celia is apparently in charge of running the circus. And so it takes her energy to keep the circus moving, to keep it up and all of that. I'm sorry, when do you sleep when you're using that much energy to run the circus?
So she's like working on a handicap anyway.
What do you mean?
Marco doesn't have to do that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
no,
so she's
he doesn't.
Running on a handicap.
Yeah, so like automatically she was much better at magic than he was.
Right.
And he didn't go to the circus. Like, somehow he was able to stay wherever he was stationed and create different tents for the circus. And he didn't have to be there, but yet he was bonded to the circus through the bonfire, which changed color.
Hang on. So you're saying that Marco's job was to pitch tents?
Oh my god! You're so annoying, but yeah, essentially. And oh god, do you remember the twin sisters who killed themselves?
Oh, like Wicket and something?
What?
No?
It was, I know the first girl's name was Tara Burgess, and then I think it was Lainey.
There's other characters named Wicket and something, right?
Not this one.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Oh, wait, Widget.
Widget.
You're thinking of Widget. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Widget and Poppet.
Okay, yeah.
They were interesting. But Lainey, I don't know if it was Lainey or Tara, but one of these twin girls, they killed themselves. And you didn't even know that she committed suicide.
Yeah, because they were the original, like, competitors. Before.
No, that was the Contortionist.
Jesus Christ, this was a fucking mess.
It really was. It was a mess. Like the whole thing was so setting based. We were talking about that earlier.
There's no discernible features or characteristics that differentiate these characters.
No, and I don't connect to books that go more for the setting than the characters. Like, I need characters. I need to be able to feel like I know these people,
right? And
I have no idea who these people
are.
It's
not like I said before. It's not like The Shining, where the hotel is conceivably a character and the setting, but since it is, like I said, it is its own character. The hotel can stand apart from Jack Torrance and the wife and the kid and all that.
Right. Yeah. No, this can't. But Tara got so upset because I think I don't even know for sure what happened. Mm-hmm. That's what really pisses me off, too. Like, you never know for sure what exactly happens in the book.
Yeah, I remember there being a lot of just ambiguity and uncertainty.
Yeah. But Tara, like, steps in front of a train and dies, and everyone goes to her funeral. And they...
Was there enough left of her to bury?
Oh, my God. But they were saying something about how the circus wasn't real and how, like, the people weren't real because it's just the venue. Like, the circus was just the venue.
The bonfire is, like, one of the key things, like a keystone.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was made specifically for Celia and Marco to, duel it out, even though they didn't know who their competitor was.
Right, or what the other was doing.
Or even what they were supposed to be doing.
Right.
Like, they had no idea. And so what is the fucking point, then? Like, I have no idea.
This was, like, very much a book for people that are okay with just being inundated with descriptions and ideas.
Yeah.
Without really getting much into the idea or what the descriptions are really for.
Yeah, it feels like it's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't even want to go deeper because it just.
I don't think there's anything to go deeper on.
We've tried. I mean, like, we've tried.
I mean, like, I have notes, but I don't know how good those notes are.
I don't know. I did think it was interesting, though, with Celia's teacher, who was actually her father. He died, air quotes. And Dom had asked me at one point, like, where I was in the book. And I had asked her, like, is her dad actually dead? Because they didn't explain that. And she's like, I can't tell you, but what I can tell you is that you really have to pay attention to this character named Bailey. And we will get back to him in a second, because that was just fucking stupid. Oh, okay.
It's a bad name for a person.
It works for a dog.
It works great for a dog.
Yeah. Not per person.
No.
So he decided to, like, use his magic and do some type of trick to himself, and it went horribly wrong, where you look at it with, like, different dimensions. And so in this dimension now...
Yeah, that's right.
he tried to, like, break up his molecules and put them back together in a different dimension.
He tried to do, like a Dr. Manhattan thing. Disassembling himself and then reassembling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the way that it was described, it was just, you're in the Avatar state. Like, that's what you're doing.
Wait, what Avatar? Like the good one or the bullshit one with the blue people?
Oh, no, the Airbender.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the Airbending story.
One.
Yeah. I thought you were just talking about, like, the movie version versus, like, the anime version.
We don't talk about the movie.
We don't talk about the movie
I don't
version.
care that Dave's sister was in the movie.
I want to see her, like, in that movie. But anyway, what was my point? Right, Avatar state. So he's in the Avatar state, and he can't figure out how to come back. So he's, like, kind of like a ghost. And then Celia... Oh, my God! I totally forgot about this part. Did you remember that you don't even get to read about the goddamn climax? You don't even read it. They skip right over it.
I don't remember that. Jesus. Oh, God.
Yeah, you don't even get the big part of the book. You just get the after effects.
So, like, everything that the book was supposedly building to, you don't even... Oh, my God. No wonder I forgot that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no climax in the book. Like, I don't understand how you can write a book and not have there be a climax.
Yeah, like, you can do with the rising action, but you have to have the resolution. You have to have the aftermath.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm still waiting for, like, this fight. And that's what I was waiting for in the beginning when I found out about this competition. I was like, okay, so they're going to battle it out with magic. That'll be cool. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, because Marco and Celia fell in love. And they Right, yeah. Love, air quotes. Like, Dom rips on my Colleen Hoover books.
Insta-love.
It is. Like, my Colleen Hoover books are way better when it comes to love.
I will admit that, yeah.
Thank you.
They feel far more developed.
Yeah, right? They totally do.
Like, despite the fact she probably writes them in a week, they feel far more developed than this. Mm-hmm. Which took apparently 3 years to do, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's 500 pages, and none of Colleen Hoover's books are over, like, 450, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I wouldn't even say 450, maybe even, like, 400.
Well, there's one that I probably won't give to you that's, like, 450, because that deals with a lot of, like, domestic violence and stuff like that.
It's always my favorite.
I know you don't like it, so that's why I'm not recommending it. But, yeah, so you don't even get to read about it. Instead, you, get to see it through Bailey's point of view afterwards. And so the contortionist comes up to him and she's like, hey, totally paraphrasing here, by the way.
She's all bent out, she?
Hey. No. But she is like the only one left. Like there whatever. She like fit herself in a box at one point and the box disappeared or something. I don't know. But
you were really immersed.
And so Bailey shows up, and the contortionist is the only one who's, like, moving about, whereas everybody else is frozen in time. And she tells Bailey that, you know, Celia and Marco battled it out, sort of, and that she was the old winner.
Okay.
And so Celia and Marco found out that in order for somebody to win, somebody has to die.
Right.
And neither one of them was going to be like, oh, no, forget that, I'm not doing that.
And the only reason the contortionist won was because her competitor killed herself. Right?
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember like that kind of got shoehorned in. Like,
yeah.
You were supposed to, I guess, have felt bad for them because they were pushed to that point. But like, we don't know anybody.
Yeah, no.
We don't know anything. We don't know anybody. Why can we attach to these people?
And it was like a loophole too, because if they decided like, hey, I'm gonna be done with this competition, like the scar on their finger from that ring would like burn them. And they couldn't get away from that pain, so like they had to go through with the competition.
Just cut off your finger.
I think it's the whole body.
Oh,
yeah.
Just cut off the finger.
Oh my god. Anyway, and so they found a way. Celia found a way to grab onto Marco and go into the avatar state better than her dad did, and so they get to live happily ever after in this little avatar state and not give a shit with anything. But she doesn't want to hold on to the circus anymore because it's draining her energy, because apparently she's using magic to make the entire circus go, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, give me the dynamics of magic here.
Yeah, I don't like it when magic, like, that's one of my big issues with Harry Potter, is just magic is, like, infinite.
Yeah.
There's no repercussions, there's no toll that it takes on people.
Well...
Gross.
Shut up. You burp literally every fucking episode.
Not this one.
Not yet. Episode's not over. Anyway. Yeah, and so they sign the circus over to Bailey, and Bailey is not magical at all. He's a normal person.
Muggle.
Yeah. So I don't understand why or how he could keep the circus moving like that. But I also got the impression...
But she's not technically dead.
No, but she has no connection to the circus now.
Oh, okay.
Because she chose love.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how Bailey can do that, even. Right. Like, I don't
see, it's just one of the things that doesn't get explained, but that's something that needs explanation. Mm-hmm. Like, shit on the magicians all you want, they explain magic really well.
Yeah.
They explain that everything has a formula to follow, ingredients to maintain, and if you don't do anything right, or if you do something above your weight class, you will die.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. Or in the case of one character, she kind of burns herself up with magic, and then becomes this thing of pure magic.
Okay.
Which is amoral and basically just evil.
Okay.
So, but still, there's limitations to magic, and there's prices to be paid, and in this, there's nothing.
Yeah, just someone's gonna die. And that's
not even die.
Yeah, because they found a loophole for it, and I didn't like that. It would have been so much better if one of them had died.
Yeah, it just cheapens it.
It really does. Yeah, all for love. And okay, I'm definitely a sucker for that.
It's not even love. It's just they never even really met. They never got to know each other.
They did like a tiny bit, because this is over the course of 13 years that the circus started and ended. Yeah, so that's a long
still,
time.
But, like,
they
don't
saw...
constantly meet.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
No, they met, like, twice, and then they were at a party together, and they danced together, and then they were in love. And then, like, the next time they see each other, they fuck. It's like, okay.
Jesus
all right,
Christ.
cool.
I don't remember that part. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was interesting. But it's not just the romance, because I'm very picky with my romance, because I'm so used to Colleen Hoover, like, just blowing my mind with romance. So...
I still don't get how you hated Call Me By Your Name.
We're not going to go there. We can talk about that on another We Speak English channel, but I'm not talking about that right now. So it's just the way everything was written, because there are like 4 or 5. I think there's only 4 or 5. It would make more sense if there were more of these.
Right.
When
books in the series.
No,
in
like
encounters.
Hang on. Hang on.
Fucking dude, explain your point.
I'm working on it. God.
Speak English.
I don't speak English. Anyway, so the author does this thing like 4 or 5 times in the book where it's just a page or a page and a half, and she uses the word you. So it's second person, and she's putting you into the circus so that you can kind of experience like, oh, I'm at the circus and it's magical and these are all these tents and acrobats and whatever.
Because it's that hard shift from like the third person present tense.
Yeah. And I just didn't like it because it felt so annoying. And like it was so out of place. It didn't feel natural.
Like that's something you do for a kid's book.
Yeah, and it's hard to do.
Do that.
Yeah. It's just, it didn't work well at all. And if she had done it like once every chapter, like at the end or the beginning of the chapter, that might have been a little bit better.
Or even like if she had opened the book with it.
I think she did.
Does she?
I think she did. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But like I said, it's only like a page. And they talk about the fact that the circus only comes at night and you are only allowed to go there at nighttime. And there are apparently like so many different tents that you can go into that you can't see them all within the span of sunset to sunrise.
12 hours. Is that enough time?
Apparently not. And so that's another reason why I would have liked more of, now you're in this tent, now you're in this tent.
They fixed that problem. They moved to fucking Alaska. Where it's where it's night for like a month. Problem solved.
Yeah, there you go. Because they did like travel on this like magical train and shit too. But did you get the impression that because Celia like created and ran the circus, that the other people weren't really there? Like they weren't
just manifestations or creations of hers?
Yeah. Okay, because I kind of got that too.
Yeah, because they were as flat and as uninteresting as her, so yeah.
Well, it wasn't even that part. It was like her like being totally bewildered that like these other people were sucked into the competition, and it's like, what's the big deal? Like, you're not going to blow up the circus, so why does it matter?
So just like pieces of her just getting involved in her own drama without her realizing it.
But I don't think that's what the author intended, because she clearly can't go any deeper than the surface. No, she really fucking can't. And some of the fucking names, like that's just a little thing, but some of the names, like Chandresh, excuse you, what is your name? Oh, and then they fucking throw a murder in there. Do you remember that when Theosin got murdered?
I don't know. I don't remember any of these characters because there's nothing memorable about them.
This is true. He was the one who introduced the red scarf, and that's when everyone else started like wearing little bits of red into the circus. And he like wrote the columns in the newspaper saying how much he loved the circus and how like other people have to go out and experience it.
Yeah, I remember the newspaper bit.
Yeah, so I forget who killed him because clearly it's not important. I just finished this book, okay? And Celia was so upset about it, and Marco was so upset about it, and there was some guy in like a suit and a hat, and he was like in the Avatar state too.
Okay.
And he made it so whoever threw the knife, who was trying to hit him, hit Theosin instead. And I don't think we ever got an explanation as to who that guy was.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it was just dumb. And then
that's so weird.
For some reason, Bailey was just so important, even though he's got no magical abilities whatsoever. And Widget and Poppet were actually pretty cute. I didn't mind them. I thought they were okay. Now, they were the twins who were born in the circus. So, like, they've lived their entire life in the circus. They are magic, but Poppet kind of sucks. Like, she's supposed to be able to read the future and the stars, but she loses that ability very quickly. And so I don't think she can do it anymore. Especially since Bailey came around. Like, I think she messed that up with Bailey.
Wait, how'd she lose it?
I don't know!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she wasn't able to, like, figure out what the stars were saying, or something of that nature. And then Widget was, which their real names are, like, Winston and Penelope. But Widget was able to, like, look at somebody and be able to, like, know them automatically. And, like, be able to tell stories and, like, things like that. So his power was okay. And they would, like, do shows with, like, kittens
they just
and
sell,
stuff.
like, plot devices.
Yeah. Essentially, none of these characters are good.
Okay. Yeah,
they're not memorable. They're not important. Yeah, no. But then, do you remember the fortune teller? Because that was just ridiculous.
Vaguely, I think I did. I think I wrote something about that in my notes.
All right, Casey's gonna check his notes because he's got like a page and a half worth of notes.
I do not.
Okay, so the fortune teller met Marco before the circus was even around, and she like pulled out her tarot cards and she was like doing her thing, and somehow she got herself put into the circus. And then when Marco freaked out about how Celia was his competitor, like he figured that out and she figured that out because they played off of each other, and whenever she made a tent, he would like add to it or make another tent, and then she would add to it, so like they worked together on this circus.
So that's not like, it wasn't really like a competition. It was just like, it was a co-op.
Basically, yeah. Like, I think she was trying to go for, like, you know, who could make the best tent and who could do the coolest thing.
I guess.
And one of the things was, like, a cloud labyrinth, which was, like, everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like, that was okay. The wishing tree was, like, meh. The ice garden. Do you remember the fucking ice garden?
No.
It's so stupid. You literally go in the tent, and it's just an ice garden, and that's it. And apparently, like, it's supposed to be, like, this gorgeous, amazing thing. And it's like, you do not use enough descriptive words to make this believable for me, let alone to make it amazing.
Great.
Yeah, like, it was just pathetic. It was just pathetic. Like, there are a lot of books that I love in my life, and there are a lot of books that, you know, I didn't really enjoy. This is one of the books that I can say I hated.
Ooh.
And I think there's only 2 other books on that list. So I got
That's
nothing
fair.
out of this book whatsoever, and I was just bored. But anyway, real quick, the fortune teller, like, fell in love with Marco, and she was of no importance other than to, like, spy on Celia for Marco, and then spy on Marco for Celia, but then not tell each other what it was.
Just another plot device hidden as a character.
Essentially. So maybe like a 1 out of 10, because I don't really want to do like 0 out of 10 for anything, but like
some
1.
things deserve a 0 out of 10.
What would you give this book from what you remember?
Probably something close to like a 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember reading it, and then the first thought in my mind is that despite it being for adults, this reads like a dumb teen version of The Prestige, which is a really fantastic movie if you've never seen it.
I haven't.
So again, that's also about dueling magicians.
Okay.
Trying to outdo one another, and kind of a character study of what drives these people and why they're so crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because you reminded me that that's basically what the author of 50 Shades did when she read/watched Twilight.
Yeah.
Because it's Twilight fanfiction,
Right.
and I will say that 50 Shades was better than this, and that's a low bar. That's a low bar.
That's horrible.
I don't even think I finished the first book.
That's not even a bar. It's not even a bar.
But everybody got on board with it. Like, that was a big thing. Enough to make it into a movie.
It became a franchise,
yeah. And the Night Circus obviously didn't.
The rights for it have been picked up by a studio, but I think it's kind of fallen into development hell.
Okay.
So it probably won't ever get made.
Good. But I wouldn't go see it. Like,
yeah, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Just to shit on it.
Well, maybe just shit on it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to spend money to go do that. But yeah, like, I'll say that 50 Shades was better than the Night Circus.
Jesus.
Change my mind.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, so 1 out of 10 for me, 1/maybe 2 out of 10 for Case. We obviously do not recommend this book for any kind of English reading. No. Thanks for joining us with our first ever episode of Speaking English. What is it? We Speak English?
Yes, we speak English.
See, I don't even know what I'm saying because I don't speak the English all that well. I need to work on that because I'm going to be an English teacher. Hey. Anyway,
Fear
so
for the future.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Castbox.
Apparently not iTunes anymore because iTunes isn't a thing.
What do you mean it's not a thing?
Or is it iMusic?
Oh, Lord.
Something like that. I think iTunes got shut down. Anyway.
Spotify. We're on Spotify.
Follow us on the things. Tell us things in the comments if you disagree. If you have funny commentary, like Richard Boone.
Richard Boone. Yeah, Richard Boone, tell your friends to, come listen to us. We want more followers.
That's generous to think he has friends.
That's rude.
He's a YouTube commenter.
That's rude.
There's a good chance he doesn't have friends.
Richard Boone, tell Casey to fuck off. Oh my god, if he actually does it, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah, prove to us you're not just a bot. Prove to us you're an actual person, not just a Russian bot.
Point out all of the pictures with traffic lights. Alright, y'all. Thanks again. Take care.